So Sourceful Energy are essentially developing decentralized virtual power plants. So they aggregate energy resources, such as solar panels, batteries, electric vehicles, that kind of thing. And participants can connect their devices to the network using hardware or a mobile app, and then they can contribute surplus energy and provide grid balancing services. That's the kind of idea, I guess. In return, they earn rewards as well as obviously whatever the electricity is worth. And they have again, they haven't launched their token yet. I don't think it's coming up. I think it's going to be on Solana. Again, don't quote me on that one. But yeah, that's sort of what they're up to. I think the token launch might be next year, but you want to do your homework on that one. It is an interesting project. Let me just see if I pull up there. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I like their marketing. Your power, your rules. So again, I think I definitely think it's worth doing an episode completely focused on energy, because I think like energy and is just going to be so important in the coming decades as we move more and more towards AI and robotics, all these things that are going to just require an enormous amount of power. So yeah, and then moving on to Arkreen. This one is again kind of Web3 powered network for connecting and monetizing distributed renewable energy resources. Yeah, it just allows you to connect your green energy assets, again, such as solar panels, etc. So let me just pull up their website. Yeah, again, these guys are more kind of focused on green energy, I guess. But yeah, connecting global renewable energy to the on-chain economy. So again, trying to bridge that gap between renewable energy sources and the Web3 kind of world, I guess. So part of the token, the idea of the token, as I understand it, is to provide verifiable proof of the green energy. So at the moment, that whole system, and again, I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole because it is definitely a rabbit hole we could go down about carbon credits and offsets and all that, all these kind of, let's call them legacy systems. I really think we could do a better job with Web3, and that's why I kind of feel like these guys are probably, they could be a play in that direction of, trying to just, I guess, Web3 enable that whole side of things for a much better outcome. So if renewable energy is important to you, that's definitely one you might want to have a look at. Powerledger, I'll have a look at this one. Powerledger is an interesting one. I'm just going to pull up there. Sorry, I should have had these websites ready.
You're good. Yeah, this area is not really my expertise, which is interesting because I spent 14 years working in the solar industry, so I know renewables very well. I just have not really dug into the Web3 side of it, frankly. So this is an area I need to do a little bit more research to wrap my head around the intersection there.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I just think, I just think if every house, like I live in Ireland, right? And in Ireland, I could put enough solar panels on my roof to pay for my bills year round. Like there's enough space on the roof to do that. So if I can do it here, there's probably 3/4 of the world that could do a much better job based solely on the amount of sun that's available. Now I know the new panels work a bit differently, etc. But I just feel like, this is like for me the ultimate in decentralized tech, basically. Do we need coal plants at all? If everybody had solar panels, I don't know.
I mean, it's always been an issue of how much electric costs, right? I mean, I always train my sales reps. So I manage like a 10-state territory for a solar manufacturer and was responsible for training the reps and working with business owners on strategy. And the biggest competitor is not other solar companies, it's the utility. And what we're seeing is the rise in utility costs in the US in particular. we saw inflation, and this is what I train on my reps on, is like, we haven't seen it in the electric costs yet, because they have to prove, utilities have to prove that their costs have gone up, and then they have to go ask for rate increases from the Public Service Commission. And that's exactly what we've seen now. We're seeing electric costs skyrocket. The AI movement is adding to that. So I think solar is going to make more and more sense from a financial perspective as utility costs continue to climb. And then in areas where maybe like you didn't get enough sunlight in the past, now it doesn't matter. You can still make the financial side of it make sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, and here, obviously, every country deals with their power and the way the utilities work differently. Here, all of our utilities have gone up. They're just going up multiple times a year lately.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. We reach a point where everybody just goes, you know what? And actually, the solar business is booming here.
Mm-hmm.
More and more, you drive down the street and you see more and more houses. So I'm sure it's the same everywhere in Europe, especially in places like Spain, where they had that huge centralized power problem last year, or was it this year? A little while ago. Anyway, Powerledger, these guys are trying to deal with that issue that I spoke about before about carbon offsets. So these guys have been around for a while. I think they were set up in 2016, if I remember correctly. So, they're going on 10 years in existence. It's one of the earliest projects in the space. And again, the platform allows peer-to-peer energy trading, allowing consumers with solar panels to sell excess electricity directly to their neighbors. It also provides solutions for trading environmental commodities like RECs, which are renewable energy certificates. So yeah, again, they're trying to democratize the energy market, shifting the power away from centralized utilities to individual consumers and producers, or prosumers if you prefer. It's like most things, if the power market gets more decentralized, it becomes more resilient, more efficient. Lower costs for consumers, accelerates renewable energy adoption, et cetera, et cetera. Better for humanity is the sort of bottom line. Even if you don't believe in global warming because of fossil fuels, it's still better. Still better for humanity if we're not burning coal and polluting the sky, even if it's just because you get a better tan. So yeah, that's those guys. They ICO'd in 2017, which is wild when you think about it.
They've been around the block a little bit.
Yeah, OGs.